Today I tasted something people wonder about, which medium, gouache or watercolor, works better on cold-pressed watercolor paper. I have used both before, but this time I compared them side by side on the same object and brush. I started with gouache. Right away, I noticed that the paper absorbed water really fast, which honestly could be a problem for watercolor. But with gouache, it worked in my favor. Gouache dries fast in this type of paper. It makes layering a lot of easier. I didn't have to wait long between layers, and it helped me keep things clean, especially with an object like an orange where you want to layer highlights and texture gradually. This paper supported that really well. Even with the texture of the cold press, the gouache still looked smooth and vibrant. The color didn't get dull even as I added more water. It felt really natural to work on, and the result was something I personally liked. Now let's talk about watercolor. Using the same orange as the object, I expected it to have similarity, but it was a completely different experience. The first issue was how quickly the paper soaked up the water. Usually with watercolor, especially when using wet on wet technique, you want the water to sit on the surface a little longer, so the colors have time to blend together, spread, and create soft transitions. On this cold pressed paper, everything dried really fast. That made it hard to blend areas smoothly. I had to move really quickly, and even then, the transitions between light and shadow were not as soft as I wanted. It felt like I was constantly raising the paper, and that took some of the joy of the process. So here's my honest conclusion. If I had to pick one medium to use on cold pressed paper, I will choose gouache. Why? Because gouache actually benefits from faster drying. It makes layering much easier when the paint dries quickly. I can add highlights and shadow without worrying that I will reactivate the layer underneath. The paper helps that happen naturally. Watercolor, on the other hand, really needs time to flow and blend, and cold press just doesn't give that. If you love using wet on wet or soft gradients, I personally think hot press paper works much better than cold press paper. I hope this helped if you were trying to figure out what paper works best for your medium. Let me know in the comments if you have had same experience with me. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.